Hello and welcome to Google Earth. We are going to be teaching you how to use the basic tools and functions of Google Earth. Google Earth has a few different settings that you can use. If you go up to the top, you can scan through to the sky setting, which is good for astronomy lessons. There's also Mars, and the last view possible is of the moon. And so each has different functions, but for the purposes of this lesson, we're going to be focusing on the Earth and how to use it. So within the screen are directional keys. So over on the right hand side, you have the general zoom in and zoom out, which you can also use your scroll wheel on your mouse to do. The smaller set of direction keys is just the movement keys. They keep your orientation in place, and so you can move left, right, up, down, and you can also use your directional keys and arrows for this. The other option is your orientation. This changes the view, so north, south, east, west, etc. So next we're going to look at the fly to search options. So this is good. You can type in cities and it will take you directly to it. Just make sure that you're being very specific, because it could take you to several different options. So we're just going to go to Thunder Bay, Ontario. And so you type it in, hit enter, and as you see, a bunch of different search options come up. Luckily, we got the right one, and it zooms right in onto the city. And so now we're going to look at the street view options. We're going to zoom in. Once you can see the streets, you can go up and find the little person icon, grab hold of it and drag it into the map, and you'll see all these blue lines appear. These are streets. Drag the person in between the blue lines and release, and you zoom in to Street View. So we have here the street view of Oliver Road outside of the university. You can use your directional keys to explore the area, left, right, move forward, etc. You are restricted to just moving within the streets in this view, but it's a good way to explore. To exit Street View, you can simply click Exit Street View, or you can use the zoom out function. The next part that we're going to look at is just doing a general search. You do that in the Fly To menu. So just like looking for a city, we are going to search Lakehead University. By zooming out, it's going to search all within the frame that you see. So we type in Lakehead University and lots of different options pop up. So it zooms in for us and you can see a bunch of different things. The Center for Analytical Services, the Paleo DNA Lab, lots of various different searches that came up. So make sure that when you're searching, you are specific and that you're looking for various different things. The other option for searching for things is by entering longitude and latitude, which you can do again in the Fly To menu. Make sure you enter it correctly, otherwise it won't work. So for example, we're entering 48. There's no symbol for degrees, so just hit space. So 48 degrees, 51 minutes, then 32 seconds north. Making sure to use the appropriate symbols. Then between north and your next latitude, enter comma, and then so it's 002 degrees, again no symbol for degree, space 17 minutes, 45 seconds, east. And once it's entered, you click enter or the search button, and we fly to, for us, the Eiffel Tower. So it's taken us to Paris. So now that we're in Paris, we're going to move on again to the layers options. You can see it in the left-hand side menu. So there's lots of different layers to explore. So we're just going to zoom out. So in layers, you can select as much or as little as you want. So for instance, the borders. So just click on that option and borders and labels begin to appear. So you can see the titles, Lac d'Intérieur Inférieur, the different labels available within the city, and we'll zoom out a bit further and you begin to see the regional borders of France, and then you zoom out even further and you can see national boundaries are in yellow and the regional boundaries are in a different color, and again the different labels of the countries, lakes, oceans, etc. Lots of different labels to see. So we're just going to deselect labels because you get too many, it can get confusing. So the next option we have is places. And so we're going to zoom in a bit more so we can see. And as we zoom in, you see lots of things popping up. Airports for the area. You zoom in even further and you get more and more details. So national parks. Zoom in further again and you just see more and more details pop up. The closer in you get, the more stuff shows up. So we're going to unselect places and we're going to move on to photos. Photos are pictures that people have uploaded using the GPS system to Google Earth. So these are all photos that professionals or amateurs have taken, like this beautiful image of the Eiffel Tower. So there's hundreds and hundreds of photos. It's a really great way for students to explore a region and see what it has to offer. So unclicking photos, moving on to roads, just like in Google Maps, it shows street names and gives you a clear overlay of what the roads are of a city. So we've deselected the roads and now we're going to head back to Lakehead University. And so we're just going to do that by clicking on one of our previous saved options. We're flying back. And zooming in back into the city. So it zooms in right on Lakehead University. You can see the name tags aren't showing up because we've deselected them. But other things available, layers to look at, are the 3D buildings and the ocean view. So we're going to zoom out and we're going to go to the ocean now to see all the different options with the ocean view layer. So as we zoom out, you can see different nautical symbols popping up, and we move over to the ocean. It shows lots of different things. You can explore the Titanic, for instance. And Google Earth is great because it has lots of different links to other information. So this one, National Geographic. But shipwrecks, all sorts of stuff can be found in the oceans layer. So we're just going to deselect that, move on to the weather. This shows different cloud cover, weather reports, another great educational tool. And then the other layers, gallery, global awareness, more. There's just lots of different information available for you to look at. So then the global awareness, and you can scroll down and see the different layers. A lot of different links to outside sources, and then just more things like there's Wikipedia. The next option we're going to do is learning how to save a place. So we're going to head back to Lakehead University. And so we've reselected the options. And so we are going to go and we are going to save to the Lakehead University hangar. So right click, use the Save to My Places option, and then you can see in the left hand menu bar the Places tab, and there has appeared the Lakehead University hangar. And it's got that lovely same icon. Other options you have are to add a place mark, and you can do that by going up to the top and clicking on the thumb tab, the little pin there, and immediately there it goes, it pops up, and you can move it about. You can select it by placing it with your mouse, or you can see the latitude and longitude changing. You can enter it manually. So there we're going to select it and we're going to place it on the road. There we are, and we're going to name it. So this is the intersection of Balmoral and Beverly Streets. So we will just rename our place mark. Balmoral and Beverly, you can name it whatever you want. There's also the description field, so you can have students fill out descriptions of what they're bookmarking, what they're placing. And then they also have the option of changing the icon. So you click that little icon button, and there's tons of different pictures to choose from. There you go. We're going to settle on the little white star. And then when everything's finished, you click OK. And there it's on the map, and it's also in your My Places folder. And so just for organizational, you can go into the My Places and you can go to the Add Folder, Add Place Mark. This is another option for adding different things. But we're going to add a folder. We're just going to name it Google Tour. And again, you can add a description if you wish. And we're going to drag and drop, so just select and drag our bookmarked and the hanger. And so now we have this information that we've searched within our Google Tour folder. Saving to My Places is really convenient for coming back to projects you can always revisit at any time. So thank you for taking a tour of Google Earth with us. We hope you find it really useful and that you're able to use this information to further your classroom experience.